Hello, everybody. We're here with the lovely Lori helping us tonight with the fundraiser. Another animal lover. Can you tell us about your pets? We know about Jennie's. We'll go around the room. So,
oh gosh, well, I've had dogs my whole life, and I had one black cat named Merlin, and he lived until he was 19 years old. He was 19, just barely, but he turned 19. It was crazy. But the cat that I have now is a rescue. She found me. Her name is Jennie because my brother likes different names. He's the one that came up with it. My sister-in-law his wife is a veterinarian in Seattle. And so we love cats and dogs. And Jennie has a cough. So she's having some respiratory things going on. I think she's like 14 because she found me when she was 1, not quite 1. All the houses in my neighborhood were flips and turnovers in the housing market disaster. My house was a foreclosure. And so a lot of people just abandoned animals. It was very, very, very sad. But she had been spayed and clipped by paws. So I rescued her, and she loves me. She knows I rescued her. She is really aware of it.
They do know. You can't convince me otherwise that, they have no idea. No, they know. They know.
She's the best animal I've ever had. Yeah, she doesn't even go out. There's no fence, because I lost the fence in the hurricane. But even after the fence went down, she won't go into the neighbor's yard. Like that's it.
Aww.
Well, they do know. I have a true story I got to tell on that. I used to have a cat named Ella Luna Fubar, who I think Bellatrix is Luna reincarnated. They have very similar personality traits. But anyway, Luna was the reincarnation of a cat that I had as a teenager named Tuffy. And Beth Cat, if she's in the chat, she can validate this. The year I got her, I was going to Tennessee from Birmingham, Alabama for a job interview north of Nashville. And on the way back, it was right before Christmas. There was this cat shop that did cat rescues and also had cat supplies. And they sold the little catnip cigars that one of my cats I had at the time, Max, just loved. He loved them. So I stopped at Beth's and I said, hey, we got to go to the cat shop. I have to get Max some catnip cigars for Christmas. So we go in there. And there's this scrawny, less than 3-pound kitten that's 3 months old, just got rescued, malnourished, got ringworm on her face, so she's got little red splotches all over her face. And I picked her up and I held her and she purred, and I handed her to Beth and she quit purring, and Beth hands her back to me and she starts purring again. And I said, I'm being paged. And I was like, I had 6 cats at home at the time. I was like, I don't need another cat. I don't need another cat. And I kept going around trying to get people to adopt her for Christmas, and nobody would. They'd look at this poor little sickly looking thing and think, no. So I leave Nashville. I go back to Birmingham, 3-hour drive home. I call up Christmas night. I call up a friend of mine who happened to be a psychic also. She's the one that told me I needed to read full time. And I was like, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. How are y'all? And she was like, there's a cat waiting on you. I said, I know there is. She goes, where is she? I said, she's in Nashville. She goes, she's so disappointed you left. So I called Beth, and this lady was like really picky who she would let adopt pets. And I said, see if she'll let someone from out of state adopt her before I drive all the way back up there. And so she got her permission. Beth had to beg and plead. She's like, look, she'll never have a better home. She'll take care of her. She'll get her the medical needs, attention she needs and stuff. So I go back up there, and that's how Ella Luna came to be. Yes, they know. They know. She's waiting for you. She wants you to come back and get her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I've had, the kittens I've got now, I'm up to like 18 or 20 cats I've had in my lifetime. we've had a couple of dogs here and there, but definitely I have an affinity towards cats. So my heart breaks for these people in California that have lost their pets, or the pets have lost their owners or whatever. They're inundated. So please, thank you for your donations. We are already up to $818, Becca, and we've only been on for 5 minutes. So thank you all for your donations.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I am especially this one. Mama Lynn knows. I like people or animals over people. I'm one of those. I have rescued.
We bonded over Artie. I mean, you fell for Artie the first time you saw him on camera.
Yeah. I have, for those of you that are new, because I know I have a few new subscribers. Before we got Braxy, I was into rescuing greyhounds from the track in Mexico, because that's their last run before they go into retirement or are euthanized, or they're sent into medical labs, because greyhounds are universal blood donors. So a lot of them go from the racetrack to living in a lab to be blood bags, literally.
Yeah.
So there was a wonderful organization that we had here in San Diego. It was called the Greyhound Adoption Center. And I was a monthly donor where I would not adopt, but I would sponsor a dog monthly to make sure that they had food and medication and everything that they needed. A lot of these animals were coming in with serious injuries from the tracks, from a racing career. And I have adopted quite a few greyhounds in my time since we've been in this home. And about 2 years ago, we lost my last boy, Moose, on Easter Sunday, and it just broke my heart. You can ask Jennie and Johnny. I was a mess. That was my boy. And so I went 2 years without a dog because I had my heart broken, man. It was like, I'm not doing this again, and kind of ran into Braxy, and that was that. She picked me, and it was like, all right, girl, you're coming home. So here's a little monster down there. I don't know if you can see her.
Braxy. Braxy.
And they're having not just cats and dogs, they're having horses and donkeys and chickens and all kinds of animals.
So horses, I've seen videos on TikToks of, people don't think because it's Los Angeles that we have, hey, Tara Newbie, that we don't have large animals. We do. There's a lot of areas in Los Angeles that have horses, donkeys, goats, chickens, it's just heartbreaking to see, and I know that there's the ASPCA in Pasadena is at full capacity. People from all over have been coming in to donate food and blankets and water bowls and food bowls, and and that makes my heart so happy. That's community coming together for the animals. And so thank you so much to everyone for donating tonight. The fundraiser is opened. There's no end date. And also I wanted to say the fundraiser that Jen did for World Central Kitchen, that one's still open, and World Central Kitchen has boots on the ground in Los Angeles right now, all over, helping to feed people that have just lost everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of animals at the ASPCA.
Chef Andre is working with the actress Jennifer Garner, who's trying to make sure food, shelter, all those kinds of things are being done. But he's got people on the ground. So if you're not into pets, go back to the New Year's Eve fundraiser, donate to World Central Kitchen. They are getting, talk about timing of us doing that fundraiser. They have people on the ground there that are helping. Just go to my channel, look at the live streams, and look for the New Year's Eve one. That donate button is still active, so you can still continue to donate there.
There you go. There's the answer to your question.
Yep. And
But
I saw
our
some
animals are often overlooked when there's a catastrophe. You know,
Yeah.
I know, like in the Bahamas, when they had that hurricane that came through that leveled so much, they were sending planes from Chicago down to rescue dogs because we had a shortage in our shelters of animals, and they were bringing a lot of those dogs up and stuff. So, you know, our animals, these charities have a need year round. Don't wait just for a disaster to give to them. They have a need year round. So thank you for your donations. And if you want to come back in a month or two and donate again, you can.
Yeah. And, you know, World Central Kitchen as well. And a lot of these animals are being boarded at ASPCAs because their owners have lost everything.
Everything. They have nowhere to go with them.
They have
The other thing to note about fundraisers on YouTube, unlike super chats where YouTube takes a percentage out, when you donate on the fundraisers to the charities, 100% of your money goes to the charity.
So we don't get a dime out of that. That goes.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't get a cut.
No,
100% of it goes to the fundraiser.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that that was expressed 100% because there were some other people, you know, that were talking about, you know, don't send them money because they're in California because YouTube will keep something. And it was just like, it's different from the super chats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different for the nonprofit
charity. As long as you as a fundraiser, and we're limited to what nonprofits are in the system. Correct. We can't just pick any nonprofit, you know, like we can't say California ASPCA. It's the general ASPCA. I'm sure they're sending most of the money right now to California because that's where the need is.
And I want to thank Jules because we've been in a group chat. Her and Taro Newbie and I and Johnny have been in a group chat, and she did tell me that she went and took her and her coworkers personally went and took food for the animals. So thank you so much again, Sterling, for that.
We're 12 minutes in and we're up to $2,167. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm in StreamYard. I can't see it either. But, you know, with these wildfires and everything, please stay safe if you're in California. If you're urged to evacuate, have a go back ready.
Do not stand there with a garden hose and think you're going to save your house with the winds like this and the embers. I mean, so far, a lot of the deaths I've heard are because people stayed too long with a garden hose. Get out.
Get out. I have family in Los Angeles. I called my cousins. Sterling, the Lobels are okay. Johnny and Sonia are okay. My cousin that was in Santa Monica had to evacuate. She's over at a friend's house with her husband. My other cousin, the one that had Braxy's mom, the one that has Braxy's mom, they're doing okay. My other aunt and uncle are out of state right now, so they're okay. But I told everybody, I was like, we have plenty of room at my house. You know, if I'll pack people in, I don't care. So, yeah. You know, there's 3 extra bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a whole living room, family room, pool room. Like we will put you where we need to if you need to go. So that invitation stands to Sterling and the Lobels. Yes, I know. I was kind of like, I wish everybody would just come over to my house. So there's that. And yeah, so thank you everybody so much for the continued support here. And another thing about the wildfires, another outpouring of what community looks like. Canada has sent firefighters. Mexico has sent firefighters. South Africa sent firefighters. You know, we have the state of Colorado, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, New Mexico, like North California. I mean, it's just instead of this
wants to share Braxy's bed.
I just read that too. Jules was like, "Can I share a bed?"
Jules wants to share Braxy's bed.
I'll tell you though, Jules, she's a bed hog. She will try to kick you out of the bed because she tries to hog the whole bed. But yeah, she's a great little snuggle buddy to go to sleep with. But yeah, so, instead of all this divisiveness coming from the orange mango, look at the outpouring of support internationally that we've had here. And I'm very, very thankful for that.
And I just want to reiterate, because, Pacific Palisades, there are a lot of people that have a lot of money. There are a lot of celebrities or people, that
not
have a
all
lot
of
of money.
the Palisades, not all of the Palisades.
But not all of it. Yeah. That was the point I was going to make. And even going towards Pasadena and other areas of the fire, a lot of these people aren't in those wealthy mansions and things. So there's...
And not just that. Think about all the insurance companies that dumped their clients before this broke out. Now you're looking at people, elderly people that have lived in homes their entire life.
That have no home and no insurance. Everything. And the insurance company is just sitting there going, like, this is not, something needs to change because the system is clearly effing broken. Then give me back every single penny and dime I've paid you if you're not going to cover me so I can rebuild my home by myself. And the sad part is, when you go into a closing on a house, you have to have proof of insurance to do the closing paperwork and stuff. So they give you insurance at one point. They should have to give it to you, keep giving it to you for as long as you're in that house, for as long as you have that mortgage. Yeah.
And if they decide to drop you, then give me back every single fucking penny I've paid you. Every single one. And that doesn't just go for the fires. That goes for victims of hurricanes, of floods, people with health insurance that are being dumped. Then why the hell did I pay you? What are you doing with my money? Giving it to the shareholders? Give it back. Give it back.
The banks need to pay the insurance companies so that their loans are insured. Because otherwise, if banks can't lend money, then what happens to the banks?
If it's not true.
Exactly. And, there's been, I was talking to Lori about it, as well as Sterling and Nina in a group chat, and Jennie as well. I am convinced, and I've been seeing the reports popping up of people being arrested, that this was started by arson, especially in the Palisades. That area never, ever. I understand global warming, but no. That doesn't happen by an act of God.
There hadn't been storms or anything to do lightning strikes that would start a lot of fires. So they've already arrested one woman. It's arson.
It's arson. They've arrested 3 to my count. The 60-year-old woman, some reports say she's from Pennsylvania. Other reports are saying she's from Kentucky. There was a man that was arrested for trying to start a fire off the I-10.
Yeah, the picture you sent me.
This one, did I send you the picture of the woman?
No, the man.
The man that I sent you, that was in Kenneth, where the Kenneth fires were. And then there was another man that they caught. Somebody was just driving by and saw him trying to start a fire off the I-10. And they put it out, called the cops, and that guy was arrested. So it's like, from the minute I saw this stuff happening, I was like, this is arson.
Yeah. And
just where they started and how they started, and the areas are just, that's places that don't ever. And even Matt Peanut, who has lived in California since the day he was born, he's like, these didn't start, So can we just start there if these were started by...
Okay.
And this issue with homeowners insurance, it's hitting other areas too, like Florida, where you get hurricanes and things. Tornado areas are being impacted by homeowner insurance dropping after they get into their home. It's horrible. So whoever in the chat said, can't the homeowners appeal? You try taking on a multi-billion-dollar insurance company, you know?
There's some people asking how to donate in the chat, I'm seeing.
Okay. It's kind of different if you're on your phone versus if you're on a laptop. If you're on a laptop, if you scroll down below the chat, the donate button is down below the live chat. If you're on your phone, close the live chat and you'll see the donate button.
Hold on, Lori. I'm going to make you bigger so you can show them.
Oh, okay. So here's the chat's even open. And there's this little white heart down here, or blue heart, and you can click right on that, and it says donate right there. Okay?
Cool. Or you can close the chat and you'll see it. Either way.
Yep, you can close the chat. Actually, when I close the chat, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, Jenny's right. If you, of course, if you close the chat, then there's a big
donate button.
Donate button with the whole name of the fundraiser. So just close the chat and then reopen it if you need to.
For anyone that's watching this video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can certainly keep donating. There's no end date to the donations.
Yeah.
It will stay. And for those who are curious, don't ask us later in the week how much are we up to. Come back to the video and you can see how much we're up to. It'll keep updates. Australia, sorry, a lot of times, for some reason, there's a problem with fundraisers on YouTube. Most countries, you can donate in whatever currency you want, and it gets converted.
Yeah, usually convert it. Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to donate from Australia, I would just Google ASPCA and go directly to their website to donate. Ooh, 3,500 now.
Thank you all so much.
Wow, we should do a question. Let's see.
From the bottom
of all these people.
Is
this MAGA?
Is it MAGA? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it MAGA? Is MAGA arsonist terrorists? Trump supporters.
The donate to the World Central Kitchen is on Jen Lynn Turo's home channel, Jen Lynn Turo, and it's under her live shows for the New Year's Eve live fundraiser for World Central Kitchen, and the button is still open and will remain open.
I get a yes, even with Turu. These are people trying to be strong and show how powerful they are that are connected to Trump. So trying to make everyone anxious. And I'm getting there's a whole network of them trying to make people in California anxious, get them to move to a red state or whatever, create confusion and chaos. And yeah, there's they run a loop in their head. They're stuck in their own little minds, and it is treachery. It is terrorism.
Yeah, and Trump was just saying 2 weeks ago. He was just talking about Newsom and Newscum and his and his fires and how he can't control his state. And he always tells you what he's gonna do.
Right here, what she said. Say it again for the people in the back.
It was over 2 weeks ago, and he was talking all about Newscum and his fires and how he can't control anything. And that was like not very long after he said, just keep calm, let things evolve, but he always lets it leak. Like he has this secret with Spike Mike, little gremlin. And then he tells you that, and look what happens. And one guy in my community page even asked me, is Newsom a target? And that was like 16 days ago.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Lori, I don't need your votes. I have all the votes I need.
How much more clear does it get? You don't even have to vote. Oh, just one more time. Maybe
we'll have it fixed so good you'll never have to. We will have it fixed so good. You'll never have to vote again.
Thank you, Sharon Sipe, our moderator. She just posted the link to the New Year's Eve fundraisers for those looking for it.
Yeah, and my very first card is this.
Oh, sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going on from there. There's no other other reason to look. It's absolutely, some of it is just, you know.
Dog, clouds, and man. His crazy, whacked out, nutty supporters. The supporters of a man that are problematic.
The loyalists, yeah.
I sent Jennie an article that was posted on The Economist. It's paywalled. And I want to thank Sterling because she went in and sent me the article because she was able to get it. There was an article on The Economist back in October of last year talking about how Russia was planning arson and a whole bunch of other stuff. Not kidding, Lori.
They like to attack power grids, like they've done in Ukraine and they've done here, actually. Water reservoirs. I mean, it hadn't been that long ago that they had cops posted at every water reservoir, it seems. And arson, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And arson. And then there was another article that I saw, because remember, he kept talking about the water pressure, the water pressure, the water pressure, the water pressure.
He sure did.
And then I was looking around.
Toilet.
They were saying that in parts of LA, he's claiming that the fire hydrants ran out of water. That is untrue. What happened was, I guess they were tapping into so many of the water supplies that it lowered water pressure. However, you know what else controls that sort of stuff? The ICS. And I wouldn't be surprised if they hacked the ICS, which can, I mean.
Well, and the other thing too, with those high winds, they couldn't fly helicopters and planes, bringing water from the ocean. They couldn't do that because they would crash. They had to wait till the winds calmed down to do that. That's when they started getting a little bit of control back.
Yeah, and they're saying, Cheryl Clark saying drip, drip, drip. Remember how Trump was saying that?
Yeah.
He always tells you.
Right. Say it again, Lori. Say it again.
He always tells you what he's going to do.
Always. He always tells on himself every single time. I saw the 60-year-old woman that was arrested. Some reports are saying she's from Pennsylvania. Other reports are saying that she was from Kentucky. What the hell did a woman from Pennsylvania or Kentucky have to do to come out here, cross country to Los Angeles, that these people hate so much, to start a fire?
So can we ask, is the water issue being caused by Russia?
Ask if the ICS was hacked.
Is the ICS, that's the water supply?
It's not just the water supply. It's the hold on. Incident command system, which is a standardized approach to managing emergency incidents on site.
Was the ICS hacked?
The incident command system hacked. Just like they hacked our election.
And they had to wait until those warnings were, they had to wait until there was a warning, right? But he sure did keep talking about it, didn't he? He just kept talking about it. I think if somebody wasn't paying attention.
What do you mean?
Like somebody that was in charge wasn't paying attention and had like too many responsibilities, like maybe some other person had called off, or like whoever, like like a traffic controller, when they're trying to handle too many things. So there was too much going on and somebody didn't see it. Somebody didn't have patience, didn't see it. But there was definitely some sort of stick it to them, get them kind of thing. And then there was a mistake made. Someone didn't see it.
I get people working together in secret. They've done this before, creating anxiety and affecting the structure how things worked. Yes, there's evidence there that this was Russia. And this is also my card for Biden. I'm getting like as Biden is ending, as he's wrapping up his term, they wanted to do something to reflect because he's been a great president. So they wanted to do something to put a smear campaign kind of out there on him. I get definitely constricting the water, temperance here, constricting the water. That's a big yes. But here's the scary thing I'm getting. They're not done yet. This is Mother Russia wanting to do another attack on America. They're not done yet. They're not finished. There's going to be some other kind of attack on us.
I have the stars, the tower, the sun. This would be your internet. Something was done to where the signal was blocked in some way, shape, or form during the fires.
That makes sense.
I was just talking to my neighbor yesterday. I had Braxy over there playing with her boyfriend. Oh, and for those of you in the chat, I was telling Jennie and Lori, I took Braxy to the vet Friday so that she can get her rabies vaccine. Now that she's a bigger dog, she's not a puppy anymore. She got the 3-year rabies vaccine, and I had to get her.
I would hope at 101 pounds she's not a puppy anymore. I was just
gonna say, and get her flea and tick medication, but she's weighing in at 101.75. So
that is not a puppy.
That's not a puppy.
Monster she's getting bigger.
That's My Little Pony. She's catching up with her brother. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call him Big Head. I can never remember. Is it Zeus? Is it Zeus?
Zeke.
Yeah, Big Head. I just
call him Goober because he's such a goober. But I was talking to my neighbor, and they're looking to move back east to North Carolina. And she was saying, she's like, I'm just ready for them to hit our power grid and put us out in the dark. And I was like, girl, I would not be surprised. I would not. I mean, they've broken into all sorts of stuff. What was it that China broke into that the FBI reported? Like, we can't get them out. They broke into some system.
They were in the Treasury files of some sort just a few months ago.
And there was another thing that they hacked into that now they can't get them out. So it's like at this point, I don't mean to sound conspiratorial, but can we just ask, or because this is like cyber warfare at this point.
It is.
It's
an act of war, just like election interference is, which would give Biden grounds to stay put.
So can we ask if they're going to try to turn off power
in California or anywhere?
All over.
Anywhere. Look, they turned off power at a nuclear reactor in Ukraine.
Like
trying to cause a meltdown.
Inauguration day to cause a glitch or something?
At any time.
At any time.
We'll just ask for 2025.
In 2025, is there going to be a cyber act of attacking our power?
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube. I'm getting yes, but I'm getting it's after Trump's blocked from the presidency. I'm getting there'll be an attack, an internet hack of some kind, because they don't like how Trump, the loser, is thrown off balance. they're not accepting of that. So there will be an attack when Kamala is in, and it's to show strength and to create chaos. Like they want to see how she'll react, if that makes sense.
I did a live stream earlier today, and I have a couple of the cards that came up when I asked about if Merrick Garland was going to do anything, to prevent Trump taking control or being, or doing a bad thing. And I have a couple of cards that were associated with that. So I'm fairly certain that they have some idea about this already. And but I'm getting a whole bunch of water cards.
Really? So you think they're going after the water supply, which would make sense, contaminate the water and create an emergency.
I kept looking for electric. I mean, I have a couple of things that are electric, but I have far more water cards. But I think I have actually, these are the two that I would choose for electric, right? Something through the air, up in the air, and electricity for the lightning. And then I have all of these water.
If you think about it, like in the winter or summer, if you're in extreme heat or extreme cold, that'd be an ideal time to attack something, because that's when people either freeze to death or they'll die because they're too hot.
The winter. Around the winter months away. They have several routes where they're going to try to eat away at. They have a couple of choices where they're going to try to eat away at it, but it's months down the road towards the winter, perhaps, is what I'm getting. So
you mean the winter of 2025 or in February?
This year.
Okay.
I just asked 2025.
Maybe like March. Yeah.
Because we're still in winter.
I know. So maybe, but the lilies is months. So I'm wondering if it's later on this year.
Could be.
Yeah, like March or maybe next December or something,
Mm-hmm. So we have quite a lot of questions in the community tab. We will try our best to get to them, but there was over 174. So I can't promise you all we're going to get through all 174 questions. So jumping into stuff, Jack Smith's report. That's coming out. Eileen Cannon tried to block it. Merrick Garland finally found his fruits and was like, nah, bitch. Nah.
Yep. Well, he's definitely releasing the DC thing. I think it's still up in the air, isn't it, about the classified documents report?
The classified documents is the one that he's saying, nah.
Nah, we're going to release it all.
We don't have jurisdiction. So I think they went to the 11th Circuit, I believe. I haven't really been watching the news. So Trump has been trying like hell to get that blocked. I don't think he's going to have
Alito. He called Alito.
Yeah, he called Alito to get Alito to help him out, or Alito to give him recommendations on lawyers.
And he tried to get Alito to help block him from getting his sentencing, because now he is confirmed convicted felon taking the White House.
So my question is, I don't know if Tarot can do timing, or you guys can try to guess, but when is the report going to be released? The first part, volume 1, election interference.
I thought that's come. The 3 days is up. I thought it's coming out tomorrow or the next day.
I thought it was tomorrow.
Yeah,
supposed to come out.
I thought too, but you never know with this clown motherfucker. Okay. So
yeah.
And the other one I know was going to members of Congress on the judicial committees.
And I have a follow-up question to this too, if you don't mind.
Exactly, JC. Espionage.
When is that report?
Yes, ma'am. It's going to come out, and everybody's going to be talking about it.
Oh, I got
all the details. The bully and his supporters. So, 2 at once could be 2 days. Timing, 1-2 days.
I've got a 2 for the outcome card.
We're going to secure it. We're going to see it.
I don't think that we get everything, because the 6 of Swords means it's like a little, it's less than what you thought.
Because we already know so much.
And a lot of it is going to be redacted, mind you. Yeah. I get it's already resolved and it's coming out this week. So do you want to follow up with your question? Because I got more on this, Jen.
Just a real quick, because it's kind of related. Canada did a report in December.
Oh, I have that on my question.
Oh, okay. We can wait then.
Okay. So my next question on this whole report thing.
Jack Smith.
So he's got 2 reports coming out: the Trump's involvement with 1-6, and then he's got the espionage, which is the classified documents case. I believe Merrick Garland is going to the 11th Circuit because Eileen Cannon, who sat on that shit for over 1.5 years and did nothing, jumped real quick at the chance to try to block him from releasing it after she dismissed the case. Okay. So let's ask everybody's in the chat. I'm telling you all, if I may, just to interject myself really quick. Lori, going back to your reading, if you remember, right after the election, you did a reading and you were telling everybody about your dream.
Yes. And
you were doing a reading and you were getting that Kamala around March.
Yeah, and then I went through the months. Something comes out, or she has some, there's some crumlets or things start getting better. But then she went back to 4 swords. There were delays. But in the dream, I heard 1 year. I had the dream on August 16th. Okay,
here's the thing. That executive order that Trump did way back in the day, 2018.
13848.
That little executive order that he was going to use as a little magic trick to keep himself in office.
That Biden renewed.
To bite him in the ass, let me tell you.
That Biden renewed in September.
What is that one? I forget.
The executive order 13848 has to do with election interference and all the steps that need to be taken.
An emergency act.
Oh,
okay.
So that can come up in March?
Well, there's dates. There's 3 different portions to the executive order. So, and I wrote it down for Jen, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. Part 1 goes from November 5th, day of election, through December 20th. Okay. The second part goes from December 20th till January 6th, when the election is certified. According to the executive order, alongside with the DOJ's manual for prosecuting election fuckery, okay, it lines up with the DOJ's manual for how to prosecute for election. So with both of those, what it says is the election needed to be certified, okay, for the DOJ and everybody else to finally be able to do anything, to not have any appearance of messing around with the election.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Yes,
you get what I'm saying?
I totally get it.
So after January 6th, there's a period of 45 days after that, to where they have to do their investigation and everything. So January 20th, in my mind, it's like null and void, because we saw it happening with our own eyes. There are currently 15 countries that are allies to us, that are part of NATO, that are all pointing the finger at Elon Musk and saying, you're and you're influencing elections, you're interfering in our elections. And he's brazen about it. So with that said, with what you got in your reading makes perfect sense now, because when you were doing it, I was like, how is she getting March? How is she getting March?
Oh, okay.
At the time, I was not aware of that executive order.
Oh,
do you see what I'm saying? So now I understand. I was like, oh, this is probably how it's going to happen. They're going to find all the fuckery, and then it's going to like delay while everything is being done. Now think about the reports that are coming out from Jack Smith and what Trump tried to do in 2020, which is the same thing he did this time with a little bit more finesse, if you will. Okay. So what are you looking for, Jenny? I
was looking for the dates because we had also asked off camera, when would they indict Musk for espionage, and if so, when? And for when, we got March 1st for Musk. And
you brought us back to your reading.
Okay.
Jenny and I were talking, and we're like, this lines up with what Lori was saying.
And for Trump, he would be arrested March 22nd.
Okay.
Because I was pulling Lenormand cards and I was pulling dates. So they both fall in March. So it's like they take Musk down and then they take Trump.
So, yeah. And then the Presidential Emergency Act, this is too big to be ignored. You have Canada, you have Ukraine, Brazil, Ireland, Australia, Denmark, Romania, the Netherlands, Venezuela, Finland, France, Spain, Germany.
And they're meeting in the Balkan Islands this week.
I did not know that.
Wednesday or Thursday.
And Kamala's going around to some of the countries that have had election meddling. And then you've got so many different countries like Canada. We were talking about the intel and stuff that they've been doing reports on. By the way, we're at 5,029. Thank you all so much for your donations tonight for ASCP. What is it?
ASPCA.
PCA. Hello. Helping animals.
Thank you so much, everyone, from the bottom of my heart. So with all that said, and Jack Smith report coming out, and everybody, I don't want to hear the doom and gloom. Oh my God, we're fucked. He's going to get in. Blah, 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 blah. See yourself out, please, because I will die on the hill that son of a bitch is getting nowhere near the freaking Oval Office with the shit he pulled. So.
And interesting, even Marjorie Taylor Greene said the other day, if he's inaugurated, like they already know.
They already know. Think about this. I saw this on TikTok and I had to go and verify. With all the fuckery that happened in this last election, bomb threats that we were watching live as it was happening all over the swing states. And all of a sudden, the election gets called in a few hours before the night is over. When in hell has that ever happened?
And all of a sudden, Sean Copeland gets raided, who just happened to have a pre-election map that matched exactly what happened on election night.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much. Like Lori was saying, he got too greedy with the steal. So with all of that, I will die on the hill that they're not going to hand the keys to the kingdom to this son of a bitch, especially when it's clear as day to what they're doing, not only here, but abroad to all the NATO countries. So I want to know, because I find it awfully curious that, this stuff, nothing happened with Jack Smith's 1-6 stuff and the classified documents and any of that. The reports that are being released in regards to 1-6, will that have any impact on Trump?
Okay, say it again. Well, the reports on
the January 6th shit that he did, will it have any impact on Trump? Exactly. I don't need your votes. I have all the votes I need. I'll have it fixed so good you'll never have to vote again. I've been informed that we should know before midnight Who informed you, Donald? Who informed you?
Trump.
Musk saying at 6 o'clock. Okay, we got this.
They had the map, Jen, weeks before the election. Weeks before the election, the exact identical map down to the electoral votes.
Which part of that 13848 thing too that don't forget about was they had to let Congress know pre-election if there was suspicion of election interference, and they did meet with Congress in October about election interference. That was a part of this. So how are we asking this?
The question is, will the release of this report have any impact on Trump?
And Rose Blue also sent me a clip from that big meeting that that big summit that they all had just a couple weeks ago at Turning Point. And Ken Paxton from Texas had gone up there and said in his speech that he had seen it and knew and mentioned Musk's name.
Aren't we glad Musk is on our side?
Yes.
Yep. Like I'm telling y'all, stop freaking out. Stop freaking out. Get your popcorn. Get your shit ready, because this shit's going to hit the fan.
But it isn't going to be, but the results are not going to be immediate.
Nope.
You know, this takes time. It's like you can't. I had people in the comments when I went back and read it today when it wasn't feeling good, and I just was like, some people are like, I'm done, I give up. I'm like, you can't do that.
The first rule, okay, I should have gotten my book. I have it downstairs. I forget what the name of the guy is, but I read it on how to fight fascism. The first thing you don't do is comply in advance.
Do not obey in advance. And yes, do not comply in advance.
Do not comply in advance. Fuck that orange turd. Fuck him from here to the ends of the universe. No.
Jack Smith's resignation was effective Friday, was it, or Saturday?
Yeah.
Whatever day he turned that into canon. It was at the bottom of his thing to canon or whatever.
And another thing I wanted to mention really quick, with all the fuckery that we saw the night of the election and all the stuff that was going on, don't you also find it kind of odd that not one single Democrat denied or contested the results of that election? They're just like, yeah, go ahead. You know, like not one. Adam Schiff had one of the surviving officers from January 6th that he invited that day when they were going to certify the election. Nobody said a word. Not one person said a word. You have Gavin Newsom down at the border saying it's going to take a little bit, but you're going to see. You have AOC going, what happened is so massive, it's going to take a minute. You know, like, so if this guy is this terrorist, this domestic terrorist, Mango Mussolini, Hitler reincarnate, why the fuck are you handing him the keys unless they know something the rest of us don't, is all I'm saying. You know, like if they're cool with it, that, and also the another thing I saw, that has been the first election that has not been contested since 1984. Since 1984, not one member of Congress stood up to object.
There's always one objection.
There's always one, and this time it was radio silence, go ahead. Yep, we accept the results. I'm just saying.
And they were all saying, oh, what we did wrong. I'm like, yes, we did nothing wrong. There was no way.
No.
There's no way. You saw the rallies. It was covered. You saw the difference in the amount of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evidence in this report and a lot about the votes. The impact on Trump, the loser, he's going to end up in court again. There's strength behind the evidence. So he's going to end up in court again eventually. There's also things tying in information that may keep Biden in the White House. So even though Jack Smith has left and we all got a little bit anxious about that, this report is quite detailed, quite aggressive. It's a speaking document, and a lot of illumination for America. So it's going to cause Trump to be back in court. And it's probably going to tie into what just happened in this last election.
And you
on
have
a bigger scale.
On a bigger scale.
Because let me remind you, Mom in the chat, Peggy, had to remind me, he had the fucking software to the voting machines.
Right. This is on a bigger scale with the Ace of Pentacles going from the page to the ace. It's like, okay, we did this and we got access to these voting machines. Now we're doing it on a big scale.
But we're talking about January 6th.
Yes, the January 6th report.
And you did have, I saw you pull these two cards out, Jen. I think you had this.
I didn't have the 8 of Wands.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay. Well, anyway. Okay. They're going. They're going to say.
Yes, I did, because I said it's a speaking document. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's that he instigated it, and then he sat there and did nothing. So what did you get? Because I'm going to ask, will he get in trouble for it? Will he?
You're going to ask that?
I'm going to ask it.
Okay, please, by all means, go ahead.
I mean, I just want to see like the outcome. So what did you get? Because I think I asked the question wrong.
Will it have any impact on Trump? A shit ton. Widespread attacks, widespread violence, widespread attacks, and these two together, a series of unfortunate events. That's just opening up a whole can of worms, and that can of worms is bottomless in regards to the amount, like the impact of that report coming out. It's going to be huge and ongoing, and it affects him now on this last one that he did, because the whip, broom and whip, this is disagreements, strife, fighting, sex, abuse, but it's also a card that shows patterns. It's a pattern of something. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're going to see the pattern repeated again. So it's kind of like he did it in 2020. We saw him here. This is what he's been indicted on. He's done it again. There's your pattern on a wider scale. It's widespread. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think Lori is still asking a question, Jenny, so we can just give her a moment.
I did. I asked it, and there's something about a phone call or some sort of something with Putin again. So I don't know if he talked to him that day, but it is going to impact him. And that's why he's trying to block it right now. Like he's trying to actively block it and appeal it right now.
And oh, Lori, not only is he trying to block it and appeal it, but remember when he won in less than a day with record voter turnout, record registrations that beat the numbers in 2020, and somehow less people voted. Think about that. Or voted split ticket where it was blue all the way down, except they voted for him at the top. Mind you, he had the software from all the voting machines. Tina Peters is sitting in prison right now because of that shit. But also to your point, Lori, like he tells on himself, like you said, he tells on himself every time. So can we ask, there was a question on the community chat.
Well, what was Jenny going to say?
Oh, what were you going to say, Jenny?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, sorry. I thought she was waiting.
There was a question on the community tab. When this report comes out, is the shit going to hit the fan in Congress? In Congress. Members, and remember, Mike Johnson was running around with a little piece of paper to overthrow the election. Remember
these guys twist themselves in pretzels to bend over backwards for Trump.
Yeah, because Liz Cheney said Mike Johnson was involved in that directly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It shows up in every tableau we've done. Mike Johnson knows what's happening.
House Speaker.
Okay, so how does it affect Congress when what happens?
Members of Congress. Mm-hmm.
When this report comes out tomorrow or the next day, what happens at Congress?
this is separate from the January 6th committee. This is special counsel.
So, yep. How is the Jack Smith report going to affect members of Congress?
I think somebody's going to jump out of a building.
Ooh. Are you dead serious right now?
I think so.
Pardon the pun on dead.
Whoa, what the heck?
Sorry, that's my phone. Give me 1 second.
What'd you get, Jen Lynn? What's going to happen? Because
I get the strength of the report makes Congress very, very anxious because of judgment about treason here. Yeah, they're going to try to figure out, the Republicans are, how do we spin this? How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our party? They're going to try to spin the evidence here and give a different perspective on it. But emotions are running really, really high here.
Can I interject for 1 second? I need to run next door. My neighbor has an emergency.
Okay.
Like, that's why she called. I will be right back.
Okay.
Is that okay? You guys hold the fort?
We'll hold the fort.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it quick, but it's like an emergency.
Okay. Do what you need to do. Okay.
Because community, we're there for each other with the neighbor. Yeah, emotions are going to be really, really high. There's a lot of support for Jack Smith's report. So there's a lot of people that will hold it up, will believe it, but somebody in Congress may leave.
Yeah, I think
somebody in Congress may I need to look at an alternate path.
Yeah, I think Spike Mike little gremlin boy is gonna rival Josh Hawley's running for the exit door, and because I got these cards for him. So and it's gonna be about who aligned with who was in bed with who. And that may be the problem, or starting the splinter from the Freedom Caucus to the from the more established John Thune type, like the Chip Roys and the John Thune group. So there's going to be a fracture, but what's going to happen? There's going to be a big change and a power, a big fight for power, a big club, a Neanderthal club.
Death card and tower again.
Yeah, and somebody might, for entertainment purposes only, somebody might get knocked out. I'm just saying.
Can we ask, how is Mike Johnson going to respond to this report specifically? Or how does it impact him?
Well, someone's going to have to turn a bright light on him because he's going to be under the mattress somewhere. A porn magazine.
I was going to say, watching his child's porn.
Bright light. Remember Spike with the in the Gremlin movie with the stripe down his head? Okay. What's the question?
Go into the light. All are welcome. Expose them all.
What's the question? How is Mike Johnson?
How's Mike? Yeah, will it impact him? How's he going to respond to this report?
Mike Johnson. What happens to
What kind of impact will it have on him?
What effect will it have on Mike Johnson?
What's he going to do about this report?
Do you have yours out already?
Getting there.
He's going to lie. He's going to cast dispersion and lies and, like you said, reweave talk. He's already been threatened. I feel like, remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, you want to talk about sex scandals and how much money we've gotten a fund to handle sex scandals? You guys all remember that? He's been threatened. Yeah, there's going to be tons of rumors and a big fight, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. And this may send him along. It's not good for him.
Yeah, I'm getting it may send him along too. He's going to pull in his partners, but he's going to be lashing out erratically. Working together with the devil. So he's going to be on the phone with Trump like, hey, what am I supposed to do about this?
That's not going to help him because they'll just lie and he'll be left out in the out in the swamp.
He's going to feel quite isolated, and as a leader, he may be ousted or forced out. This causes big changes for Trump also. Mm-hmm. So I feel like some are going to get called out for being tied to Russia. Now, Justin Trudeau has just said that also. He just said the U.S. has people that are taking money from Russia, in their government. So
yeah, and it would help Russia if they had Greenland, Canada, and the Panama Canal.
Down there in the Gulf of America.
In the Gulf of America. Listen, I almost...
Is that the stupidest thing?
There's a lot of things where I can remain on my seat and just drop my jaw, but that one almost knocked me, because I live on the Gulf Coast. So that one almost made me fall off my chair. Oh yeah, Gulf America. Yeah.
So I kind of want to look like what are the Dems' response in Congress, in both the Senate and the House? What will be the Dems' response? Will they use it to try to block Trump from getting in, or
what will they do?
14th Amendment or something?
Will they make a motion on these on these findings?
What did you get on that, Becca, before you had to run?
What was the question? I forgot.
About the report, like would it impact?
Yeah. Their efforts to create chaos and delay something, and to stay in the majority and make it grow. That's what I'm getting.
So the after that we looked at how will Mike Johnson respond? Like what's the implications for him? We're getting it may force him out. So what did I just ask Lori? Oh, how will the Dems respond to this report? Will they use it
to file? Okay, Becca?
Yeah, everything's okay. Everything's okay. I just had to run next door. You heard my call.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have to come out here. I was like, oh, okay.
What? So. A little over an hour in, we're at 58:57. Thank you all so much for your donations.
Okay.
Thank you, Lexi. Say thank you. Say thank you.
What are you doing?
For all the dogs, cats, chickens, goats, horses,
and the ponies,
donkeys.
Yeah, come here, mamas. Come here. See, look, all your friends are donating money to your animal friends that are sad right now.
That are in need.
Mm-hmm.
Praxi!
Like, thank you.
Say thanks.
Good girl. So what was the question?
How will the Dems respond with the report? Will they try to invoke 14th Amendment or something to block Trump? Or
you have a lot to say tonight, don't you, little missy?
That's right. I see those little ears down there.
Mm-hmm. Her little double ears.
I know.
So you had dinner.
You want to help me pull cards?
Want to know how the Dems are going to react to the report? Let's see. Let's look for the report. Okay, you're going to help me? Sorry, you guys. I'm home alone tonight. So I'm holding down the fort over here by myself. What'd you get, Lori?
There's just so much. There's infighting. There's so much information. They feel like they have to go through it. They have to wait just a day or 2 or 3 or something like that. They propose something. Not everyone agrees, and then they do agree. But it's in the 11th hour because cups take longer than swords.
So what does that mean, the 11th hour? Like, is that as far as the read goes? Or
my outcome card is that so the question was, will they use the information to do something with it? And it's first like here's the fighting and the talking and going against each other and being in the chaos. And then the next step, the next day or so, they have to wait. They have to get more or wait more, and then they're like, okay, let's use it. That's what I got.
I think it's going to come down to that vision I had where Kamala was Lucy and Trump was Charlie Brown, and she yanks the football away from him at the 11th hour. Like, she pulls the football away at the last minute. Their work isn't done for the Democrats because it brings illumination on all the corruption, an abundance of corruption. So it actually brings strength to the Dems. I get like wait like whether it's 3 days or 3 weeks. I'm getting it's the end of the bully, and that the Dems secure the White House. So whatever's in it, it's gonna take time, but for whatever reason, they're like, okay, we've had election interference, it's an act of war or whatever.
I get that there's answers. We're going to get a lot of answers that had to do with the transition and how they were going to transition. In that report, it's going to create a lot of chaos, a lot. But there's unity for the party at the end of it. And now they have like a map on how they're going to go forward, united. And we have a special guest. Hey, Miss Thing!
Yeah. Ona with the crazy cards. Where's Meister?
Thank you for joining us tonight for the ASPCA fundraiser, my dear. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for asking me. Thank you for being patient. I'm still celebrating my birthday.
Happy birthday!
I turned 60 on Friday, and I was working. Yeah.
60?
Stop the clock. Yes.
Oh my God.
60.
Girl, you don't look a day over 50.
On Friday.
And I'm not shitting you because you're my friend.
Like, I worked all day. It was such a busy day. It was crazy. It was snowing the whole day. Planes were grounded at O'Hare. It was like just surreal. And I didn't eat all day because I wanted to get some work done. I got home. I got a notice that Giblets was a bad dog and barking the whole day.
No! Is there like a puppy daycare you can take him to while you're at work? Or
You got a teacher's note.
You know what? I'm close to asking if I could take him to work at this point. He's I don't know, he's out of control. So I can go get him, but he's a little bit in a food coma. but I'll go get them.
Yeah.
Because
love having
the animals.
Yes, we love having giblets on all the time.
You should know.
Bring him some romaine.
He likes the romaine.
Oh, I love that dog. He's so damn cute.
He is really cute, but it's over the top.
Yeah.
Over the top.
I thought Braxy was over the top.
My God.
She got a teacher's note.
I mean, how bad do you have to be to get a teacher's note? Giblets, what were you doing? What were you
bad
doing?
dog. Do you see how bad he is?
Giblets.
Screaming. He's deaf, now. And I think
Smirking. Look at him posing like me.
All he needs
rolling
is
his eyes like I didn't do that.
Oh no, you have to get him a bow tie.
He was wearing it earlier, but as soon as I get that bow tie, you know what's going to happen. He's going to want the kid. He sees it and he knows there's treats associated with it.
Oh,
so I can't show that to him. And he is full of cheese. Like he would not leave anybody alone. Barking. So I just gave him cheese like all day.
Oh my God. He's not going to be able to poop.
And that's another thing. It's too cold outside.
Oh my God. He's going to be constipated and he won't go out.
He will not wear the outside stuff. There's a lot of salt out there. He jumps in, he goes out there, and he goes back inside right away. After it took me 25 minutes to put my boots on. I'm like,
get bundled up.
Oh Lord, he's a character for sure. Well, thank you
so
so much for
personal.
joining us tonight. We've raised quite a bit. I don't know how much we're up to.
We are at $6,112
for animals.
For ASPCA for the California wildfires.
This is so catastrophic, and I have no words, literally no words for what's going on here.
It's fucking sad, dude.
Well, how is it by you? We're
good. We're good because we're 90 miles south of LA. I called my family. I was telling them earlier in the chat. I only had one cousin that had to evacuate. She was in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So she had to evacuate. My other cousins are okay. My aunts and uncles are okay. So
yeah,
it's just I
have one near Thousand Oaks, and on Friday we were texting and he was fine. And then after that, I was just sort of keeping tabs, right? Like opening the map, and it looked like they didn't have power. So I didn't text them anymore because I'm like the last person you need to text. If your battery's like nothing.
Besides just donating for our animals tonight here affected by the wildfire, we have over $500 more donated to World Central Kitchen on the New Year's Eve video. So thank you for those donations as well.
Thank you, everybody. It's really, truly appreciated. Because like I
we
said
have
before,
such a giving community.
This is what community looks like. Fuck that orange turd. Like, fuck you all the way to hell.
Yeah.
So...
No. This is the way we're going to support each other, because that's not going to be something that you can count on.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the chat are asking about NATO being here in the United States, but I haven't seen anything that says, yes, they're here, like that there's a big meeting going on. I haven't seen anything.
Trudeau was here. I don't know if he still is. Trudeau was here.
Yeah, but they're saying that a NATO plane or, somebody posted something about, and then is NATO here? I just haven't seen anything. I've looked, I was looking on some of the other world stations on the AP and things like that, but I haven't seen anything that's talking about that. So I don't.
Unless it's just Rudda. I don't know if he's here.
Someone said one of the planes landed here. Oh, someone's saying it was yesterday. Well, if it was yesterday, then I
don't, you know what, honestly, from the perspective of working in a hospital during the DNC, if something like that were happening around here, even as close as Milwaukee, I would know. without losing my job. And I'm going to say the disaster plan was not distributed. Yeah.
Yes, you sent me the picture, Rose Blue, but I haven't seen anything, and I don't know where that picture came from. She's saying it was the flight schedule, that the plane landed in D.C. Oh, I didn't hear about Michael Popak talking about it either. So,
yeah, I think you got to really be careful right now because there's a lot of fake news out there, especially on Twitter, and fact check everything.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be fact checked. Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk briefly about First Lady Melania Muscatina.
Oh, yeah.
If we may, if that's okay with you guys. So 15 countries, 15, count them. That's two hand plus a third.
Yeah, I'll give you a third. 15.
15 countries have come out and have pointed the finger at that white beluga whale looking moron and said, he's interfering in our elections. And those countries are Spain, that just came out last week, France, Germany, Britain, Canada, Ukraine, Australia, Brazil, Ireland, Romania, Denmark, the Netherlands, Venezuela, Finland, and the EU have all said he's effing with our elections. I want to know, will he be held responsible abroad in these other countries for what he's doing?
So Elon Musk face charges or be held accountable in any of the foreign countries that he's accused of election.
Out there for Elon.
15 countries, y'all. 15.
Yeah, he's really got some deep-seated sick thing going on there.
He's just, you know what I think he did? I think they pulled it off here and he's been trying to sell it everywhere else. Because now they have the blueprint on how to do it.
Yeah. It's about the money.
Oh yeah. Pay me enough and I'll swing your elections too.
Well, what can't it buy?
What was that, Lori? I missed it.
What can't money buy? Who can't money buy?
Clearly intelligence for him because he's dumber than a.
Well, but if you got two people in a room, one of them's going to take the bait.
Yeah.
It's about the money, but it's also about the vote. And I get justice for the loser that goes along with Musk. So the loser being Trump. This changes everything for Musk. He's not going to like it. He's not going to accept it. So he's going to get very argumentative, I'm sure. But I get like massive investigations into all the details of anything that he did and victory on those investigations. He's about to go through some crap. He's going to stir up chaos. He's going to backstab. He's going to try to burden everybody else, point the finger at everybody else. You're going to see him talk, but you give him a little time. He's got to get indicted here. I don't know if he's going to get indicted overseas somewhere too, but he's going to get, four pinnacles. He might end up with indictments in 4 countries.
Four out of the 15? No,
4 out of the 15, like he gets indictments with.
Jesus.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Slovenia right now has massive protests going on because their little leader is kind of partnering with Putin, and they don't like it because they see what's going on in Romania and everywhere. So they're protesting in Slovenia. You know what? Let's just send Melania back to Slovenia with her messy hairdo.
Oh, that's on the list too, because that girl looked a hot mess, dude. She was at the Jimmy Carter. Oh no, she looked like she was double fisting bottles of whiskey, doing lines of whatever the hell, and getting into a knockout, drag out, punch fight with Trump before she looked
in her pilgrim costume.
I hope she did. I hope that's what she got to do. What she got to do.
Yeah, he might have cuffed her because her head was, if somebody whacked you upside the head.
Mm-hmm. Did you do your cards yet, Lori?
God.
I re-asked the question because it looked like he was gonna still get away with it for a little bit yet. He's bought so many.
So close. I can't.
He's bought so many people. I think that he eventually will.
Well, he was doing that thing here where he was doing the lottery for votes, which got thrown out of court because they were like, no, we already predetermined. Then he had the people walking around with iPads. Remember that?
Yes. Right.
Did you pull Ona?
Yes, I did. He showed up.
Oh, little bastard.
He showed up. He doesn't look so little in this picture. Jen, you got 4 indictments. I got what looks like might be 9. I got the King of Swords. Oh, that's much better. You can see that. So the King of Swords is looking at 9 strikes. This is the 9 of Wands. And it's pointing at Elon. Right?
There's that big white belly.
He showed up again.
Oh my gosh.
So, and he's offering, and what really shows up is somebody kind of bails him. I get the Queen of Pentacles. And that's how it sort of goes. He doesn't really get in trouble. And remember that he can get pardoned and probably will if anything holds together.
Okay.
Next week, right? So he's got he's going to play the pardon card. So he's going to do as much as he can, but they're definitely spying on it, looking into it, because that is the leader of what's happening here. And honestly, it ends in with like the Sun and 10 of Pentacles. That would be the end of the deck. This would be the Sun card, whoever he sold his soul to or contracted with, and the 10 of Pentacles, which I know traditionally have adopted the Republican Party's moniker, right? So they're looking into it, but I think he feels like he can get away with anything right now because he can be pardoned.
Yeah.
For it.
He does.
He's just blatantly doing it. He's not even hiding it.
Yeah.
He's not even hiding it.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. I get that there is a woman who is going to be traveling or has traveled. See, woman travels to have meetings and conversations that are difficult to have about elections with our allies. The question was, is he going to be held responsible abroad? I'm getting a yes, and that there's a woman that is already talking to faraway friends about difficulties that they have had. And she's traveled. I don't know if Kamala Harris has been traveling or if she's due to travel. And that's another thing that doesn't make sense, Lori. Why would she be traveling to all these foreign countries if it's about to be the end of the administration?
I wasn't aware that she went anywhere. She had to preside over the votes. She
was at the funeral.
She was at the funeral. So where is she gone?
I don't know. I get a woman that's traveling to have conversations about difficulties with the elections.
Maybe that's Avril Haines.
And to offer aid and support to our friends. So
maybe that's Avril Haines.
They're saying Kamala is to travel soon. Where is she supposed to be going? Singapore?
She's going to Romania too, I think. she's going to some of the countries that have been impacted in their
They're
elections.
saying 13th through the 17th to Europe, but then they're saying she canceled it because of the fires in California. Woman ship birds, that could also be a long distance phone call as well.
Okay, but Avril Haines is currently serving as the Director of National Intelligence in the Biden administration.
Well, there's a woman that's having conversations or traveling and having conversations at a distance, and they're talking about serious problems and difficulties in elections, and aid that a certain person has been providing, a friendly person has been providing aid. So I don't know. So that reads like a yes to me. Like it's just a matter of time before Muscatina,
Yes, he'll be stripped of his citizenship and he'll be sent packing.
Oh, no. You better lock his ass up in Gitmo first.
Well, hopefully that's where they
Because if a man with that much money and that much power, if he did it here and he's doing it everywhere else, letting him loose and kicking him out of the country doesn't eliminate the threat. Even if you take his government contracts away, it does. He knows how they did it. So why the hell would we want to? And especially all the shit he did, paying people to vote, voter fraud with sending people to. I mean, we have a woman sitting in prison right now because she tried to vote, a black woman, and she didn't know that she couldn't, and they threw her ass in jail. And meanwhile, you have Elon Musk sending people that don't even live in certain states, busing them to states and swing states with iPads to commit voter fraud.
Right.
No. Put that son of a bitch under the jail. So my next question, Obama and Donald Trump at Jimmy Carter's service.
Yes, I saw that brief in their thing, and it was disturbing and humbling at the same time. But who had the real vantage point was Mother.
Oh, she snubbed him hard.
He was right behind him.
And she sat behind him. Oh, I would tongue kiss Pence to sit behind Trump for 5 minutes. I swear to God. You can do all kinds of stuff staring at the back of somebody's neck. I would just be all over it.
I was sitting there and I was like, oh, poor Obama, that poor bastard either lost at rock, paper, scissors or drew the short straw and ended up getting sat next to that dumbass that smells bad.
Smells. I've been watching the videos of the lip readers trying to see what they were talking about. None of it makes any sense. It's like, no.
I guess they picked him to be the one that would be the most cordial, right? They're like, out of all, he probably just picked the short stick.
He kept sitting there behind Kamala, just staring a hole in her. Like he knows he lost to her. He knows it.
He knows he lost.
And then this sitting there with this messy hair.
Yeah, what's her deal? Well, she didn't get paid enough to go to the dresser that day, I guess, huh?
Well, that dress apparently is a Valentino dress, so that was expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And the collar, that huge exaggerated white pilgrim collar, has I forget what the name of the painting is, but it's a painting of a man and a woman kissing. I'm like, oh yeah, because of course you would wear that shit to a funeral, you whack job. Like that's the equivalent of I don't really care, do you jacket,
Yes.
But so everybody,
even George Bush wouldn't shake Trump's hand. He just walked right by him.
My understanding is that they did seat them in order of their presidency. So by that order, Obama would be sitting next to that bag of plasma.
Yeah. Poor Obama. And then you see him sitting there like trying to be all buddy-buddy with Obama. I was like,
they were all medicated, by the way.
Where was Cheney?
I don't know. Cheney wasn't there, and neither was Michelle.
I wanted to see Michelle.
Cheney's pretty old now,
those two empty chairs that were sitting in the front, I was like, that must have been for Muscatina and Couch Fucker. you know, because there was 2 empty chairs next to, Kamala, but I want to know, just to get a little bit petty and break it up, because it's been a kind of a heavy night, but
intense.
What did I want to know? What was Obama thinking sitting next to that clown?
This better be good.
I know. Spill the tea. No.
Go next to that.
Oh my God.
I thought Melania looked like in the old days, back when I was in my 20s, I used to color my hair bright red, and when they put the color in, it's real goopy, and she looks like they put color in her hair and never rinsed it out. It's all goopy,
she looked like
plastered
she
looking.
hadn't washed her hair in like 6 weeks. It was oily.
It looks like she'd been rolling in the hay with Baba the goat herder.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Bezos is paying her millions of dollars to do a Netflix, or excuse me, to do an Amazon film on her. It's like $40 million.
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
It just went through. Amazon is paying for this Prime movie, and it's on the life of Melania, and it's 40 million. You can Google it.
So he's gonna have porn on Amazon now? Like, I mean,
it's another grift. Oh my God. By the way, and I can't make this up, and I can prove it. Giblets farted as we're asking this question, what is Obama thinking? And I'm like, you did not. And I'm like, I'll tell you, I'll write this, but I'll be out of here. And I just need to peek the window open for like a minute. I'm like, there's nothing. You know how much cheese this dog ate today?
well, that's what you get for giving him so much cheese. Oh no.
Because he was a bad dog, I was a bad mom, and he got a lot of
cheese farts.
Oh, those are always worst.
So in honor of the gift meister, please donate to the ASPCA.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. So what? Let me try again. What was black thinking?
I'm ready.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. I literally think he knew he was gonna get the short stick, and I think he offered. I do. I think he offered. I think he said, "I'll do it." Look, Lynn got the same.
Yeah, on the bottom.
Yeah, I think he said, I can do it. I'm okay in my skin. I know who I am. I can do it. And I want to welcome Ona, and I want to say thank you to everyone who donated to support all of our furry friends for the ASPCA in California. And my heart goes out to everyone. I want to say thank you so much. If I can make it, I have a dentist appointment at 9 a.m. So I'm out, but I love you. Thank you. And thank you for inviting me. And I love the work that you're doing, and I appreciate it so much. And
thank you, Lori.
Love you too. Bye.
Stay safe.
I will.
Bye.
I know. Is it going to snow in Florida now? Or are they going to have an extreme event also? Because I can't take it anymore.
No.
So, Ona's dog farts, and I get that Trump or that Obama thought that the bully smelled like a wet dog.
Yeah.
Well, everybody has said. Remember, Kinzinger had said that he smelled like bronzer and shit and like all sorts of nasty. Like
he's also thinking the only way to have healing in America and to get things back to the way they used to be is if this guy is taken out by the mighty creator. I get he was thinking about how he's manipulated by Russia. And I get that he's wondering if Melania was trapped in the limo with Trump. Just she was forced to ride with him. Because something's going on there.
Oh my God.
He's also thinking about a surprise that's getting ready to change things for Trump. So I think he may have a little insight.
They all do. All former presidents, with the exception of Donald Trump, every living president that was in that room still has access to all the shit that's going on in this country to this day, all except Donald Trump. All of them except Donald Trump. You cannot tell me that Bush and Clinton and Obama and everybody else that was sitting there are looking at this motherfucker going, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You know? What'd you get, Miss Ona?
I got, well, in this deck, the magician is a picture of Rasputin. So basically, he knew that it was a burden. And I think he might have even actually gotten like paid the lottery for it or something, because then I get after that the 10 of the Pentacles. So, you know, people sort of standing in line, everybody kind of milling about, but he has to be stuck. He's sitting next to the baby, little baby. So sometimes if you think about that, the person you're sitting next to, and I used to do this when I would visit my mom at the nursing home, was pretend I'm going to pick up my toddler in daycare. Pretend I'm in daycare, and then I could actually emotionally tolerate it.
Yeah.
So that's what he kind of had to do.
I thought it was funny too, Trump's body language. It's like he kept sticking his chin way up in the air, like he's sticking his nose up. But I felt like he thinks his posture looks better if he does that, but he's still slumped over like a slouch.
Yeah.
But he thinks by sticking his nose up, it makes him look like, you know, because he looks shorter, you know, than Obama sitting there because he's slouched. And
Did you see Pence? Did you see Pence's body language when he reached with one hand? He literally covered up his solar plexus.
Oh, did he?
Put it together like this, and he reached out like as if it were pouring out of him. Held onto his solar plexus and gave the handshake.
I just can't,
protecting himself.
I can't imagine being there and having to shake the hand of the bastard that tried to have you hung.
Yeah, well,
because he threw a temper tantrum because he didn't win. I don't like the Pences at all, but kudos to Mother for snubbing that son of a bitch just like he deserved. Fuck the
she was deadpan straight ahead. She was not even going to make eye contact with Melania.
Yeah. And she was sitting right behind him. Oh, I just loved it. I'm like, oh my God, what a moment. If I had only gotten that chance for that long.
So what did Obama get? What was Obama thinking when he had to sit there? That he's a traitor to the country. But he'll sit there and he'll be pleasant and he'll play his role. But he knows that Trump is a traitor to the country. I was talking to Jennie about this. I was like, I can't imagine being in a room full of people where everybody knows, motherfucker, you ain't getting in. And you're the only idiot in the room that has no idea.
and everybody's praising the integrity of
Did you see
Jimmy Carter.
Did you see Joe Biden look straight at Donald Trump and say, what did he say? Something about abusing power and this, and he's looking straight at him. And I'm like, this motherfucker does it.
And he said integrity 3 times, and looking like he kept looking right at Trump, like, you piece of crap, you're going down.
Can you imagine that? It's like everybody knows except you. You're that one idiot that's in the dark. And even he is doubting it because he's just like waiting for them to do something. And they're like, no, go ahead.
The way he's staring at Kamala, though, was, I thought, really interesting. The way Trump kept staring at the back of her head.
That's
and
on
she
one of my
looks
questions.
poised and confident and engaged in the funeral, like actually listening. And he just looks like, I can't believe that dark-skinned woman beat me. He's just got this
and
look
that
on his
was one
face.
of my questions. What was, because somebody asked it in the community tab, because he was staring like, we all know he's a bully. So I took it as intimidation tactic, which, how are you going to intimidate her? Her back's to you. She doesn't know what the fuck you're doing. Nobody gives a shit.
You just look like a child back there, the toddler.
Everybody in that room snubbed you. The Bushes walked right past him. Biden and everybody, they were snubbed by everyone, So I want to know, what was going on in his last brain cell that's on life support when he was sitting there staring at Kamala Harris?
What was he thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Is he farting again?
I think he's attracted to her.
I wouldn't be surprised. She is an attractive woman compared to the fucking alien looking shit he's got sitting next to him. Jen was like, Jenny, what was it that you were saying on the text message where you were like, she can't, and we're going to hell, bestie. We're
so going to hell for that bunch of text messages. And then little Junior over there in Greenland hooking up with the homeless drug dealer. I was talking about the fact she has no earlobes.
Yeah. And I said she has no ears, she has no eyes, she has no nose because all the nose jobs.
She's Is she intentional? I asked, is she intentionally letting herself go, hoping he'll dump her? And you're like, nah, girl, I drank too much vodka and popped too many pills on my way here. So I was passed out in the back of the car. And I just woke up and I'm mildly hungover. It totally fits her vibe. Goes perfect with the Mayflower Pilgrim's dress. And I said, I commented, like, she didn't even get her eyebrows filled. Like, she's got a gap in her eyebrows. And her eyebrows are always very, immaculate. And you're talking about how she looks very wrinkly, and Trump's nose has a different color, like it's like 40 different shades of skin color on his nose. I said, oh my God, his nose is going to fall off. And you said, apparently they're sharing the same makeup artist too. And I said her hair looks like she came from the salon before they rinsed the color out. It looks goopy. And she has no earlobes. Earlobes must have gotten in the way of the last facelift.
And I said, Jen, bestie, we're going to hell.
You said no earlobes and no eyes. Probably can't smell for shit either because of all the nose jobs. Dear God, how does she function? And then we were on to Junior trying to look like a Viking over there in Greenland. So that's the nature of text messages between Becca and me, for those who wanted to be a little entertained.
Two besties going to straight to hell, holding holding arms and singing a song, Jenny. Straight to hell we go. What did you get? Ona, did you go?
I think he has a lot of fantasies about her. He has a lot of fantasies about her. So I have like the Tower card. So he's like thinking, he's looking at her, right? And would be like the challenge. That is the Three of Wands. So sort of like kind of gathering the ideas. And then the Seven of Cups over her, the Queen of Swords. And just having fantasies about hurting her, fantasies about what he can do to her, kind of thing. Nothing that really, puts her away. He's not going to be able to try, but he wants to change. Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom. He wants to change the course of her trajectory in her career.
And but she's very secure and grounded. She's very poised. She stands on higher ground. He's trying to figure out how to destroy the judgment of other people on her, because she's people think more highly of her. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to figure out how he can assault that. It wasn't enough that he rigged the election. He wants to take her reputation down. So he's trying to figure out a change in messaging and getting all erratic. But I think he does have some sexual fantasies about her also. And I think he's also got some fantasies about what he'll indict her for once he's president. Because he's going to take out all his enemies.
Yeah. Is that before or after we invade Canada and Mexico and take over the Panama Canal?
And Greenland too.
And take over Greenland.
Well, this whole thing about the Panama Canal.
A busy schedule with all these, invasions he wants to do. Is he really going to have time to throw everybody in prison? That's the question.
You look at when the Panama Canal thing started. When he started talking about that, it was right when Jimmy Carter died. Jimmy is who gave the Panama Canal back to the Panamanians. And he can't stand that people love Jimmy Carter, that they think so highly of him. So he's trying to sabotage that. Oh, yeah, we're going to take that Panama Canal back.
I'm seeing that it was the theories that I've seen is that the Panama Canal, Canada, Greenland, and Mexico are rich in this one mineral.
Yeah.
And that's what they want.
It's got mineral content. And I think it's also this like in between, like equidistance between Russia. There's some accessibility thing, this land grabbing.
All this shit that he's spewing, that's all Putin's plans. This is what happens when you get an idiot that has his brain melting out of his ear, talking on the phone with Putinesca, and then not having the intelligence to comprehend what he's hearing, and then just spews shit like it's his idea, So what was he thinking when he kept staring at her?
Yeah.
I'm so successful. Does she know what I did, or is she that stupid? There's a successful man. Okay. There's him being small and childlike. There's the traitor and the secret.
I could see him thinking she's like, how do you not know? How could you not know?
How could you not know about what we did? And do you
or
know?
I'm smarter than you. There's
this is not.
You're not smart enough to figure it out.
No, this does not read like I'm smarter than you. This is, does she know? And why isn't she saying anything? Because it ends in the book, knowledge and secrets. You have knowledge that I lied, that I'm a traitor, that I'm this, that, and the other thing. Why aren't you saying anything? It's almost like he was trying to suss it out. Like, why aren't they doing anything? Why aren't they doing anything? They're just going to let me walk in? Like he was trying to figure out her game by staring at the back of her head, because he know what he did. Okay. And the stars there with the technology and all that other stuff, the programs, the software, he knows what he did. He knows he's not innocent. He knows he didn't get it on his own. He's just wondering, what do they know and why haven't they done anything?
Why haven't they stopped me?
Is he paranoid?
Now
I think just his mental state is paranoia and just baseline, right?
Well, I mean, of course he would have a guilty conscience. No, when has he ever been honest in the entirety of his life?
Such a piece of shit.
I mean, so we got 5 minutes, so I wanted to end with a petty ass question. And if you guys are going to have a problem with it, you can just exit out. But this here person, I speak for myself, I loathe Melania. I loathe her with the heat of a million suns. That is one disgusting waste of space, that woman. I cannot stand her for nothing. So I'm going to get petty and I'm going to drag her ass. So if you have a problem, this is your final warning. Bye-bye. What the hell was she thinking when she, I mean.
When what? What part? What are we?
She looked like she was off of an episode of American Horror Story, Pilgrim era. You know, she looked like she had drank at least 15 bottles of vodka on the way there. Her makeup, I had never noticed how wrinkly she was until Jen sent me the pictures, and I was like, holy shit, did you stop getting Botox too?
You can see where she's had plastic surgery, you know, where they've done a facelift because they separate the skin, you know, and then pull it up to the earlobes, which are now missing, right? You know, it's like she's got nothing to hang an earring on. But there's like, I call them spatula marks. There's little marks on the face when they've had a facelift done like that.
You just answered your own question. Her hair was like that because she's masking scar lines, probably. Or
yeah, but she usually blows it out. I mean, it looks like she drudged it through a mud puddle.
No, it looks like, you know what happens when you don't, I don't have an oily scalp, but if you have like oily hair and you don't wash your hair in like a week and it just looks like a hot damn mess, like you took chicken grease or bacon grease and rubbed it all over your head. That's what, I mean, it was just her makeup. I was like, dear God, what the fuck? Hold on, let me make you bigger.
Is she trying to look like she's getting her hair done by the same person as Trump? I mean, look how stringy it is, and
she's the same shade of orange as the piece of shit sitting next to her that keeps forgetting to put bronzer on his fucking ears. Look at that orange.
Oh God, he's such a mess.
And then pink ears. Oh my God, they're
missing earlobes, but like her blonde highlights in the front because her hair looks all goopy and plastered. Now looks like just a white streak going down. It makes her look like she's gone gray.
Jen, zoom in on the picture of Trump so we can see how bad the fucking makeup is on his orange noggin head.
How does he do that? It's awful. It's just
like, who's doing his makeup? Who is doing his makeup? Look, it's like
it's hard to see.
Orange, pink.
Yeah, it is. His nose is like, you know, 40 different colors, but look at that circle of orange. Like it's spray tanned on like a mask, and then it's
the eyes are pink. This down here is all pink. His fucking ear is pink. Oh, and by the way, where's the tampon that he's been wearing on his ear from when he was?
Look at this. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here by the city.
Zoom in on that.
I can't make it bigger without taking him out of frame. She just looks. She's got her hand beside her face, holding and looking straight ahead. Like, I can't believe I'm having to sit here.
She would have been better off wearing that green jacket. I don't really care, do you? You know, like.
And then there's the pilgrim version.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
There were several times where Trump's looking quite concerned, and I can't get this to show up real good on camera here, but Biden is looking right at him, and Trump's like, oh my God, he's talking to me.
Mm-hmm. And I struggled with that question because he's so checked out and stupid. Like, is he even understanding that when somebody's looking at you and saying, you know, don't abuse your power, be a decent person, you know, live on integrity, is because he's so dumb and he's so bankrupt of all of those things. Like, did he even understand that those concepts were directed at him? Because I don't see a person like him getting told something like that in a room full of people and having nothing to say, even afterwards. And he hasn't said shit, which leads me to believe he had no fucking clue that those statements were for him. You know, so I want to know, what the hell, Melania? What the hell? Like, I mean, just her appearance.
She looks so bad. Baba the goat herder wouldn't even want her now.
And it's like, it was so bad that even her presentation of herself, usually a person that is immaculate on how she's presenting herself, walks in there looking like she just got out of a bar, you know, in itself was disrespectful. And
her hair looks like goat hair, you know, it's all.
I could just be saying that because I despise the bitch. But when I saw that, I'm like, now you're being disrespectful because you didn't even put in the effort to look presentable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I got. It was like the last place she wanted to be. Truly. I don't think that it's part of her contract to go to funerals. And she was sitting there thinking, oh shit, I'm not even getting paid for it.
Yeah. So let's ask Jennie.
She's got to sit there and smell him just like Obama and everybody else had to. She's got to sit there beside him and smell it.
I bet you she wasn't even reading that piece of paper she was holding out in front of her. And if she was, it was probably upside down and backwards.
It was upside down. There's pictures of it. The program, you see what's on the front. She's got it on the back side. She was holding it upside down. She wasn't reading it.
Yeah, she's something. But for her appearance, specifically her appearance, I got the Magician, which is like the surgeon card. And he's actually wearing a wig. It's a Rasputin again. So it might be that she is trying to mask up some scars by that. And everybody just thinks, well, that must be like fashion. Like, I don't know what she's trying to do.
If you see that circle,
hold on, I'm gonna make you bigger, Jen. Hold on.
If you see that circle on her program, that's supposed to be on the front. So she's obviously got it turned upside down.
Yeah, that's a big
to make it on the back side. She's got the program turned upside down. You can make me small again.
It's just fucking disrespectful. The trash that these people are. The fucking trash. So fuck you, Melania. Fuck you and your goat hoarder.
She's not happy in her position, and I don't think they're even going to live together now. Honestly, you know what? Give this a chance. Give us like a couple of days. I don't want to project anything because I don't know what's going to happen every day. It's different.
I mean, this is a woman that made it a point to be dressed to the nines in an offensive jacket to go see kids in cages. A woman who was salivating like a dog in heat over, the guy from Canada, what's his name? Not Macron, the Canadian Prime Minister, a person that's always, she's just as vain and as shallow as Trump. And all of a sudden, she's looking like she just came back from a bar crawl. Trudeau, thank you. Just that in itself is fucking disrespectful.
Yeah. We used to call that FFL.
What is that? What is FFL?
The freshly fucked look.
Oh.
Oh.
A
FFL.
little bedhead or something, because I'm getting she was thinking about romance, and that's not Trump.
But yeah, it might be a little FFL that Malaria was wearing there.
He may have been a little bit snockered or something, but there's all these leaders working together, all these former presidents and everything working together, and the Republicans just tearing everything down. And here she is, little party girl, thinking about her love interest, the romance here. She felt very burdened to be there. She feels very burdened by the Trump family. I do think she had been drinking. She was barely hanging on to be there. And she really is hoping they block him from the White House. I think they were talking about that he might get blocked in the car.
Funny that you say that, because look what I got. The scythe, the house, and the fox. Where have we seen that before, Jen?
They set a trap for you, idiot.
They said it. Say one thing about Melania, as vile and disgusting of a human being that she is just as conniving as Trump. The difference being she can read a room.
Yeah.
She can read a room. So he's not getting in. Look at that. He's not getting in. You're not going to be recognized. I'm just going to sit here and ignore all these people and give everybody the cold shoulder. You're done. You're in a trap. You see that?
Yeah.
You're in the trap. I'm just going to sit here and just, who cares? My reputation, my image is going to get tarnished anyways, if it hasn't already been. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, what was she thinking? She didn't care. She didn't care because she knows her shithead of a husband
is in a trap.
He's not getting in. So there's that. But thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Ona, for coming.
We are up to $7,249 for ASPCA, helping the animals that are suffering from the California wildfires. For anyone watching this later, please continue to donate.
And also to World Central Kitchen on Jennie's channel. It's all greatly appreciated. The animals need care. Families that have lost everything right now they're in need.
You guys,
everybody, from the bottom of my heart, for the donations for all of the animals, not just dogs and cats, but horses, goats, and little farm animals and everything out here that have been displaced, and for the ASPCA to do what they can to help with the influx of animals coming in.
come here, bud.
Thank you to Giblets and Jennie's kitties, Lucy and Roro and Skewy and the other one.
Bellatrix. Becca Bellatrix.
Oh yeah, that's me.
It's you, Becca Bellatrix.
Yeah, this is important. This is.
I would put one of them on the table, but they disappeared.
He's standing on my lap.
Oh, girl. Roxy couldn't do that. She'd break my legs. We love Giblets. We love him so much. He's just like a little goober, such a drama queen.
He is.
He's fun.
The femme fatale.
He's my power totem animal.
I love him. He's just so freaking cute. He just looks like a little marshmallow every time.
That's what he was for Halloween, a bag of marshmallows.
Love that guy. Love him. Thank you, everybody, so much. Really, truly, I don't have words. Thank you. And we will see you next time at Jennie's channel for the next
Sunday. The day before Inauguration Day. Should be interesting.
It should be interesting. Keep the hope, people. Keep the hope. All right.
Woman's going to be inaugurated.
Pluto and the sun are going to be conjunct that day,
Oh, that's a shitstorm. Pluto and the sun conjunct on that day?
Yep. because Pluto just moved into Aquarius and the sun's moving into Aquarius at that day. So that's like very glitchy. It's very glitchy. Very glitchy.
I'm here for it.
Here, and I will fill your cheese wheel. Oh, I'm gonna get that done.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Poor giblets. Screaming his butt off.
Starving him.